with B-Bad and Brandon. That's our thing.
That's how we do it.
Okay, cool.
That means we started.
Well, we kind of started already.
Half started.
But welcome back to episode 18, I think, of the Platform Podcast. I'm Brandon, and you are?
Johnny B-Bad.
And we are joined today by two actual athletes, Lisa Campbell.
Hello.
And Sami Gurdon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking nailed it. Well done.
Wow.
So these guys are actual athletes. They
play a real sport.
They do real sport, yeah. They don't just play with barbells and have a hobbyist.
We do that as well.
Yeah, but like you do it.
What we
Just
do.
not as well as you guys.
Yeah. It's like on the side.
Our stuff is accessories for what they actually do.
Yeah, exactly. They do
For their
real
sport.
things. So, Lisa, you are a... Oh, wait, no.
Whoa.
Whoa. I've jumped the first question.
Dude,
I'm
slow
off my
down.
game today.
Can't believe you had a plan though. That's impressive.
Well, we've got two questions.
Yeah, we have two lots of questions and that's about it.
Yeah, then you're on your
How long
own.
do we have to talk for? How much filler do we need?
I think that's actually about it. So, we're done. No.
Yeah, that's it. All right. Who wants to go first? Sammy or Lisa?
Yeah, I'll go first. How about that?
Okay.
Oh, Sammy's just like, fuck this.
21 words, who you are and what you do.
Oh, shit.
We're going to count all of the words. Someone's freaking out. We're going to count all of the words,
Okay.
and you're not allowed to go over, and you have to hit exactly 21.
Okay.
And Brandon's going to count them. Are you ready?
Like what I do, like just my sport,
any-
or
No, no,
like
Who you are and what you do.
do.
Any words that come into your mouth, any sound, all counts. Like ums, ahs.
oh shit. Okay.
Okay, so ready,
Yeah.
set, go.
Lisa, Campbell, pole vaulter, elite athlete, coffee, cats, QAS. I really like lifting things. Exercise physiology. How many have I got left?
Well, you done.
Oh.
Just count those words cost you.
That was actually
So
pretty
it's
good,
like a
though.
Thank
list
you.
of words, not like a sentence that has to
you
add up
can-
to
it's
21 words.
Hey,
What
I
do you
don't-
want?
That's why I looked so panicked.
Look, I make my own rules, okay?
Is that right though? Just like a list
21
of
words.
words?
21
Are you ready?
sounds. 21 sounds.
Yeah, sounds
I
included.
didn't know we could do sound.
Yeah, if you fart, we count it.
Okay. Sami Gurdon, triple jumper, bouncing, exercise physiologist. I like to create unnecessary challenges for myself.
Yes.
Overly organised. How many am I at?
Oh, yeah.
Boom.
You
How
did the
many
same thing.
that was pretty good. Like that's actually like one of the better ones we've had.
That was okay.
Excellent.
We've had some
Do you do this
terrible-
at the start of every podcast?
every podcast?
Yeah.
Well,
Clearly, you've listened to all of our
No, I
podcasts.
purposely didn't. I purposely didn't because I didn't want to like start accidentally rehearsing stuff like this. So I was like, I'll leave it as a mystery and then I'll go back and listen to stuff afterwards.
I wanna hear
And I didn't
Paul's
want to
now.
make myself too nervous.
Paul's is okay. We'll see. Paul's is very different to all the other podcasts. Johnny and I say a total of about 10 words collectively.
Sounds
Yeah.
about right.
And then it's just
It went
Paul.
for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Just
it was
under.
Totally, it was just like
That
the
sounds like
tangents.
our work day, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, that's actually a good place to start. You know, because we have a plan. You're
Start.
both exercise physiologists here at Start Training. Obviously, we met through Paul, the wizard that he is. How did you both start your career, I guess, as an ex-phys? What drew you to it? Let's start with Lisa first, because Sami looks confused.
I need time to think.
So I was originally going to be a lawyer, and then I worked out I didn't like reading.
Yeah,
So I was like,
same.
screw that. I'm not interested in that idea. And then obviously being an athlete, like I was drawn to like exercise physiology. I was going to do just the sports science degree, but I hated Darwin. I used to live in Darwin and I hated that place. And they only offered the like sports science. And
Yeah.
so to do the extra year, I could move to Brisbane. So it was like, I'm going to do a degree that doesn't require me to live in Darwin to justify me moving to another state. So
Yes.
that was kind of why I did the ex-phys. So I
Very
got
cool.
into that. Yeah, at UQ.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Fuck Darwin, though.
Yeah, I hated Darwin.
You're from Darwin.
You're like, were you
Yeah.
born
It's
there?
really hot up there.
Oh, it's like, and my hair is just like
Oh.
so curly. So you like walk out and I just have like a big fro. Like just
that
afro
sounds
line.
amazing, though.
Yeah, the humidity is disgusting. Like I hated Darwin. I said that again. Like just in case you didn't realise, I do not like Darwin.
I'm glad you moved. Like, I'm glad you have moved here.
Yeah, me too. And there was just like more opportunities as well. Like Darwin, when you're growing up, like if you're sort of in that 16 to 20 age group and you're not into like drugs and sex, like there's not a lot
much else to do.
There's literally like that.
Well, I wouldn't survive in Darwin now, would I? Fuck.
Yeah, so that was like kind of why I started XPhys. It was more like the athlete background.
Yep.
And then got into that, and then I met Sami gymnastics coaching because I did that in Darwin, and then I moved to Brisbane and kept doing that. And I started coaching at Splits, and that's where I met Sami. So we're both
Sweet.
gymnastics coaches.
Both
gymnastics coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
both gymnastics background as well.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Sick.
Paul told me you guys met at uni, which is a lie, Paul.
We met while we were studying at uni.
But not like at uni.
And
no.
we were both studying XPhys, but I was at QT, Lisa was at UQ.
Yeah.
What drew you to Q? What? Not QT. Fuck QT. Oh, I went to QT. Fuck. Another tangent. XPhys for you.
Similar kind of thing, like athlete background. I think I kind of always wanted to do what I now do as an XPhys, but because I'm really old, when I graduated high school, clinical exercise physiology wasn't a degree yet, so there was just human movement. So I was sort of drawn to that initially, and then I think it wasn't at that time like clinical enough for me, so it wasn't quite right. So I kind of went off on a bit of a tangent and did biomed first, found out that wasn't really for me. And I ended up going to the UK for a while and didn't really know what I wanted to do when I got back. Like I was doing biomed because I knew I definitely wanted to do something health related. And I thought, if nothing else, it's a good like undergrad. So moved over to the UK, sort of just delayed deciding what to do with my life. Then when I came back, I was still a bit up in the air, but I thought I might like finish biomed and then do a master's in something. But then I randomly found out about the new at the time clinical XPhys degree, but then I basically had missed the final cutoff by 2 days. So I had to wait 12 months to start the course because there's no mid-year entry. But yeah, so that was, I guess, what I always wanted to do, but the course didn't exactly exist. And it was the same kind of thing as Lisa, just became interested in that from being a broken athlete. And
so you guys were both competing in your sport at the time?
No, not anymore.
No. So, like, I didn't start pole vaulting until, like, second year uni.
Really?
Yeah. So
How'd you get into pole vaulting? Like, that's...
Yeah, that's the general question that people ask. That, and when you're trying to get poles on planes, and they're like, don't they, like, break down and fit into a bag? And I'm like,
no.
Wouldn't that be, A, dangerous, and B, if I could do that, wouldn't I be doing that instead of carrying, like, a 4'60" bag around on my shoulder?
It's a pretty common, like, for gymnasts, it's pretty common to go into, like, pole vault, diving, you know, sports like that that still require aerial awareness. And
but the story goes, I was doing triple jump. Hey, hashtag Sami.
Triple jump.
So I was triple jump. And can I just say, triple jump is hard. I'm so heavy. I actually call it cripple jump because it's like...
I just said that there, but no one knows.
Because it's just like so heavy on the joints.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really getting anywhere, and I was just walking with my coach, and we were just chatting about life things, and she was like, and I was telling about gymnastics coaching, because at this point I was still coaching, and she was like, I didn't know you did gymnastics. Been training with this woman for like 2.5 years. I didn't know you'd done gymnastics. Awesome. Shout out to Annette. Hey. And then...
It's right. She probably won't listen.
Yeah, and then...
Everyone listens to the platform.
Yeah, I think you underestimate how popular it is.
And then she was like, you should try pole vault. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went out that afternoon, and when you learn pole vault, you don't actually jump. You just get like a really big, stiff stick, and you run at the pit, and you like just Tarzan your way across. So I basically just did that. I just like ran, and you like put it in the sand, you like Tarzan. And
Did you go off the ground?
What do you mean?
Yeah, when you hit it, you go off the ground the first time?
So like you put it in the sand,
and
you
just
like
see what
jump
happens.
and you swing.
Fuck.
And it's actually the stiff pole I had was just like, it was black. So it was like this big black stick that I just like put in the sand, just like swing across, and the rest was history. After that, I was like, cool.
That actually sounds like a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, it was super fun. Yeah, actually really fun.
Can
But
we
to
try
do
this?
all these like
Yeah, I'm into
flying
that.
sort of sports, like that's why we can't eat like you guys.
Lower is not the aim. The aim is to get high all the time.
Also in my sport, if you couldn't get off the ground, that would probably be a fail
Context
as well.
of pole vaulting, do not get high all the time with other uses. That's the best.
Like after I'd said that, I was like,
No. That one's staying in. We're going to name this podcast Get High all the time.
How high can you get?
4 meters 33.
Wow.
Now, you've actually competed at the Commonwealth Games.
I have, yes.
That's fucking insane. That was 2018?
Yeah.
When it was on the
Gold Coast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for helping me. You can tell I paid attention. That's cool.
Yeah, it was super cool.
And how long have you been competing for at that stage? What, 5 years?
Yeah, 5 years. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. But like there's a lot of transferable skills between gymnastics and pole vault. A lot of non-transferable skills, but there's a bunch of stuff like good upper body strength, like like a turtle.
Gymnasts are terrible runners.
Yeah, they're horrendous.
Like I would probably say for both of us, maybe about 70% of our training, like transitioning from gymnastics to track and field, is just learning how to run.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's full on.
And then having to accept that you'll get a lot better than you were, but you'll never be good at it.
Wait, what? Say that again?
So you have to spend a lot of time working really, really hard on running mechanics.
Yeah.
But you have to accept that because of the years and years of gymnastics training, you'll never actually be good at running.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. You'll get a lot better, but you won't. You have to sort of accept you'll probably never be good. You'll probably always just look like a gymnast trying to do track and field.
Yes. So
Sad realities.
That one hurts.
just so you know, you failed before you even started.
Yeah. Go and honestly, go and YouTube vaulters. Like not pole vaulters, but gymnastics. Like go on YouTube vault and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Jason.
I actually
Sick.
thought that men did that because their biceps were too big to like run
Possibly.
properly, so they just like go straight on it.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Is it
But yeah,
just a
no,
bunch of
they
people running
run
straight on?
terribly.
Yeah. Oh,
like even
wow.
the ones that are like world champions on vault, like Olympic medalists, like they run terribly. But then they just like spring off the board, like push off their hands and do like boss vaulting.
So how'd you get into triple jump then? If like, because you've competed at a national level, which is fucking insane in cripple jump. I really like that, by the way. It's really funny. How did you go from gymnastics to cripple jump?
So I always did it at school, like in high school. I always did it and would sort of do a bit of training on the side for it, but it was never sort of my key focus. Then when I was living in the UK, because it was the one time that I was doing some coaching over there, but I was just sort of like helping out so that I could actually travel and you know, do things that you can't do when you're committed to coaching. So I had some time on my hands and I was able to, so I started like springboard diving. And I did actually start some pole vault over there, but that was sort of towards the end, right before I came home. So I didn't really get past just the learning how to handle it. So I did springboard diving and stuff. And then I came back and I got back into coaching over here, which you sort of have to sell your soul essentially. And I didn't really have enough time, like because all of the training for both of those things, it's true though. Because all the training for both of those events are on at the same time as coaching. Like I had to sort of make a choice: do I want to do a sport or do I want to keep coaching? So I kept coaching, and then I guess so they were my first two preferences after gym. But then it came down to like when I finally finished my degree and actually like had a bit of time to train for an event, I just had to pick something that I could do a lot of training independently for. And diving and pole vault, you can't really do independent training. So triple jump was sort of the next best thing because I could do a lot of the training on my own and fit it around my work hours and stuff. So
Cool.
Yeah, like how you just kind of like, oh, these other two don't work out, so I'm just going to be really good at this other one.
I'll just pick this one.
they're all fun. Yeah, like triple jump is probably the third
Athletes,
choice, but they're all
transferable
fun.
skills. You guys
Yeah.
have transferable skills into everything else.
Not everything.
I feel like you could be good at most things with like because you're
If it
Yeah,
doesn't
I'll take
involve
that. I'd
hand-eye
say we'd be good at
coordination.
everything.
I love it. Oh, that's so good. But okay, so what does the normal training week look like for you both? Because you're currently in off season, or as we've just discovered,
Cake season.
Cake season.
Season, yeah.
Okay, just quietly, we had the best carrot cake
Sugar season.
just before
Yeah.
this podcast, so I feel like I'm on a sugar high just for
Yeah,
my
me
carrot
too.
cake, which is my favourite. And it took me like so long to try and convince Eddie to have carrot cake at our wedding. Just, if Eddie, if you're listening to this, carrot cake recipe coming your way.
That was really good. Really delicious.
That's a platform exclusive, that is.
You're welcome.
Oh, that's hilarious. So what is it? Yeah, so off season right now, what's your training currently looking like? Apart from Sami, who just tore a fucking label.
Yeah, I was like, this is a bit of a
Sounds
sore
like that's
spot at the
not slowing
moment.
it down, though.
No, Sammy's like terrible at slowing down. Isn't that right, Lisa?
Maybe. No, we help each other.
Yeah,
when,
we do.
We give
We
each
do.
other the right advice that you need because it's really hard
Really?
to like.
Because this is a
Yeah.
good time to then put in the fucking hamstring story. Let's talk about this.
No, hang on. Before that, I will just
Bit of like context.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just say the other day I was feeling really, really sad about not being able to do what I wanted to do in training, which is lower body dominant stuff. And we actually did a bench session together.
Thank you.
So
Where was the call up? We would have like
no aggravation of the hip injury doing bench.
Yeah, so become a bench
Let's
specialist.
be a bench specialist.
Yeah, this is true.
See, even Lisa said it. I'm sure Paul will say yes.
That was
He's
me
in that
agreeing
room.
with you, not
Yeah.
saying that we should be bench specialists.
Oh. But okay, so let's go back. Hamstring story.
Okay, I
just
was trying to divert
Let's
from
add
that.
a bit more context.
Doesn't
These
show
are
me
two
my
of
best
the best
light.
ex-physios I have ever seen. Two of the most intelligent clinicians.
This was why we were still studying, by the way.
And
Yeah, so
We
Yeah.
hadn't
were
learned
like
about
second year
learnt about this
these,
yet.
like so smart, but as Paul Pegler quoted, the dumbest athletes.
Oh, not
the
to be
dumbest.
harsh, the dumbest.
Maybe.
That's like
I can
a
say personally, I
superlative.
used to be way dumber than this as an athlete, and I've come across way dumber. So
Well, okay, well, let's see.
And
Okay.
like the superlative, like that's not just dumb or dumber. That's like the dumbest. That's saying like maximal capacity
but, like,
of dumbness.
Paul's an all-in type of guy. But anyways, please tell the story of how you. Please, this is how Sami tore a hamstring, and then did a kettlebell challenge, and Lisa.
no. Okay. I don't know how. I'll just
Just go. for
I'll
it.
just say it. Okay, so there was this competition at my gym where you had to, so they just had like all different challenges and you just had to participate to get an entry. It was like win an all expenses paid trip to watch the Olympics and stuff. So you just had to participate in all of these challenges. So at the time, so this was pre-triple jump where the only thing I could fit in was just like running. Like I was trying to be a long distance runner because I could just do that.
I've been through that phase. It's
Yeah.
rough. I got a stress fracture.
Yeah. So I kind of like, I was probably still carrying some gymnastics like based injuries or like, you know, hadn't fully rehabbed some injuries from when I was a gymnast and decided to take up long distance running and just upped my volume like so fast. Got really addicted to spreadsheets and stats and like my Garmin stats and everything. So it was a bit of a recipe for disaster. So I think at the time I'd started to get I developed a femoral neck stress fracture, which is not good.
Are you sure?
Yeah, but this is I'm explaining
In the neck.
what, no, that's context because I need to explain why I couldn't feel the hamstring tear. So I
Because you
couldn't
had a
feel the
bigger problem.
hamstring tear because I had a femoral neck
She
stress
was
fracture.
in so much pain.
Yeah. So that like while that was developing, not when it was like a fully blown, but like when it was on the way to becoming a femoral neck stress fracture, I did this challenge at the gym. So
With the neck problem as well.
No, like no. But yeah, so basically it was just like you had to see how many kettlebell squats you could do in a row, and I'd been doing like running only. I hadn't been doing any lifting, which is really weird for me. So they came in and they were being all like, no, I came in rather, and they were all like, oh, you know, you look really strong. You should give this challenge a go. And I was like, I'm not. Like, I haven't been doing any lifting. Doesn't sound like a good idea. But of course, I gave in to the peer pressure.
Yeah. I feel like
so-
you read the word participate and all you read was dominate.
Yeah.
Well, no, they said, because they said to me, oh, someone just set the record at 120. So, like, you look like you could beat it. And I was like, I really don't think I can at the moment, but thanks. So anyway, I gave it a go. got to like 40 reps and I was like, oh, my legs are dying. Got to 60 and realized that there was just like no change. So I was like, all right, I can keep going. So I got to 120. I got to 120 and then I got really cocky and decided that I wanted to double this girl's record.
Yes, you did.
So then I got to 240 and thought it was way too close to 300.
Did not go 300.
I kept going. I think it was either 301 or 305 or something, and like legitimately couldn't walk. Like my legs were like
I remember
shaking all
after
over the
coaching,
place.
like standing in the car park and you were telling me the story. I was like, what are you doing?
You definitely participated.
Yeah.
Like,
so then
300 kilo.
Huh?
Just 300 kilo. 300.
Yeah, I was like, you've heard the story
300 goblet
wrong.
squats with a. How heavy was the kettlebell?
I think it was just 12 kilos.
That's a lot of squats.
It was a lot of squats. It was a lot of volume. So then after that, when I literally could hardly walk, like by the end of it, I could hardly stand up in the reps. And then this PT who was like watching the challenge was like, oh, you should do the row time trial now. It was I think it was just 500 meter or something like that. And so I think that's when I tore my hamstring. But
So you did the row after this?
yeah.
What the? Did you beat it?
I actually don't know. I don't know what the record was. I don't think I set a record.
Is it because you're in too much pain from the hamstring tear, the femoral thing? And okay.
Yeah.
But at this point, were you numb?
Was I numb?
Yeah, like was it just like so painful that you know how like when you get to that pain level where like
I
it's
think I
just
just couldn't
constant and it
function.
doesn't like it's not like you don't really notice it's really bad anymore because it's so painful that you just like go
Yeah,
along
I
that
think there
line.
was a bit of that and I just couldn't function anymore.
Yeah.
So I literally like walked out. So I told my partner, I was like, I've really done something here. Like this is this is not DOMS, like this is next level. I think it was just about
Probably had
rhabdo.
Yeah.
I think I was like on the cusp, but not quite there. But he got home. He was like traveling for work, and he got home 8 days later, and he was like laughing at me because I was walking like I had polio, and that was like over a week later. So it wasn't good. That was just like the muscle damage.
Yeah.
So
But at this stage, you didn't actually know the hamstring was torn, did you?
no, because of all of that.
Enter Lisa.
I was just like masking. So I don't know how long after that, but like I just had this really bad knot in my hamstring. Like it felt,
Just wouldn't go away.
yeah, it just wouldn't go away. It felt like all
this is
bunched
where
up.
I come into the story.
So I was
Yeah,
like, Lisa,
Lisa,
I've
take
got
over.
this, like, I've got this really, really bad knot in my hamstring. Like, can you get in there with your elbow?
So we're at coaching one afternoon and Sammy's like lying on the ground and I like put my elbow into her hamstring and it's like she just starts like screaming in pain and I was
Thrashing.
like there's a bit of a like hole there. So,
I actually don't remember that. I don't remember that happening, but
and
I
I was
believe.
like and I was sticking my elbow in it and she's in so much pain. I'm like, are you sure this is okay?
And I was just like on the floor, like,
So
Right.
It's just a
Right.
knot. Just get it out.
yeah.
And then she was like, no, it's fine, just go harder. So I'm like
So you're fucking like forearm up to.
yes.
Yeah.
My elbow's just
Oh.
digging into Sammy's hamstring. Turned out to be a hamstring tear. It was like a hole, and I'm just like digging in and like moving around
Oh.
to try and like, get this knot out. And I was like, oh well, that seems legit. Sammy said it's okay, so it must be.
Let's go.
Again, these are two of the smartest clinicians I've ever met.
Hey.
That is my.
We were second year uni
So
though.
it was
Can
not
I?
long after that I met Paul. Surprise, surprise.
That story couldn't get any worse. So, did you find out later it was torn? The hamstring?
Yes.
Through like a scan and you're like, oh.
No, so I went to the clinic that Paul was working at and I decided I just needed a massage. And then the massage therapist sort of looked at me and was just like, this is too hard basket, so referred me to Paul. Because at that stage, like the hamstring tear had turned into tendinopathy. So like the therapist was actually like going through it and like felt the hole.
They didn't
then-
stick their elbow in it.
No.
But like, how long was this? Like, this story gets better the more I hear it. So, from when you did that challenge to massage, how long was this time frame?
A couple of months, I'd say.
So you were still training with the knotted hamstring over the months?
Yeah, I did keep running on the stressy for a little while.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. And then I got addicted to swimming, so it was okay.
How was any of that okay?
Can we just say though that we would have handled that a lot better now?
And we learnt a lot from
We
the
learned a lot from the
experience.
experience.
Oh yeah, learn by doing.
Life is a journey,
Yeah.
guys.
That is amazing. Okay, so now let's go back to what's your training look like?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what
because that story was going to lead into how you have a labral tear and how you still front squatted this week. And
I didn't. I was about
Because
to.
I saved her.
well done, Lisa. She learned from that. She learned from
No,
the
there
elbow
was
and the
actually
hamstring.
logic. I wasn't really thinking. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking, but there was a thought process, if that makes sense. I just wasn't thinking logically. But
But this
Okay,
is
I
why
got
we're such a
nothing.
good team, because when Sammy's not thinking logically, I am. It's like when I had that stress fracture in my foot, I had to run my sessions by Sammy.
Yeah.
I was like, do you think I could do some like single leg loaded like pendulums on my sore foot? Sammy's like,
No.
No.
just like outsource our thinking.
Yeah.
The voice of
Okay.
reason.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's hard, because when you're an athlete, like you're really focused on like your training and what you need to do to get to the next goal.
Absolutely.
So as soon as like if you have a setback, it's really hard to be objective in like, oh, like in your head you manage to somehow clinically justify all of your decisions.
Do you guys find it hard to swap between athlete and clinician, or is it a very easy switch?
No, I'd say it's a pretty easy switch. Otherwise, I'd probably be terrible at my job.
Yeah, it's
Judging by that last
super easy. Like when you've got people in front of you, my own stuff, it's really hard to do that. But like in relation to switching between, like we've got a client in front of me, it's super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of
And
the time they work hand in hand. Actually, like the athlete view, but with the clinician.
Yeah.
we
Because
work
you are
really
both
well
elite
together.
level athletes working with some
Yeah.
quite high level
Yeah,
athletes here as
100%.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of have an empathy for what they're going through.
Yeah, and not
Yeah,
just that, but like
definitely.
training routine, like volume, load, recovery, like all the stuff, like eating well, like all of that.
Yeah, I
comes
think it
into, like,
helps
an
you to be really
understanding.
holistic.
Yeah, in your approach.
And just
like
look at the
training
bigger
volume.
picture when you're working with people.
Yeah. So training week.
Yeah, what's a training week look like?
we will get in there eventually. There's a lot of gold in there along the way.
So currently, what a training week looks like, because we're all in like self isolation and no one can actually.
It's a
go
bit of a
and
weird
track.
question at the moment.
Yeah.
Cake season.
Yeah, in cake season. So we're doing a lot of like cardio, which is not my favorite thing. Like, so my run up is about 30 meters, which is about
30 meters, then I'd like to run.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, like my training week will look. So I do a lot of mental prep as well. So I do a lot of like meditation. So I'll do that every day in the morning when I get up. I'll do sort of 10 to 15 minutes of meditation, working on like mindfulness. Because when you're on the runway with like really big stick and a lot of height, it's really easy to get like caught up in emotion and anxiety. So it's really important to have that like ability to be like mindful, like in the moment, in your body. So I do that. Then Monday I'll do like a long run at the moment, sort of 4 to 5 Ks. Tuesday will be like a big gym session. Wednesday's more cardio, but like deloaded cardio, so like 45 minutes on the bike. Thursday is more gym. Friday was running, so Tristan and I out here on Friday morning did like 10 200s with a like 1 minute recovery, and then today we did a movement gymnastics session because there's a lot of gymnastics components.
Yeah, that was really cool to watch.
Yeah, did like a mobility recovery gymnastics session, and I managed to mold all of those into one, and then tomorrow we'll rest. So it's just like, it's a general prep phase, so there's not a
Yeah.
lot of like pole vault specific stuff in it. It's more just like building a really strong foundation, a really big base.
How like far out from a comp do you bring the pole vault specificity? That word that I can't. Thanks.
Specificity.
Yeah, so it's like we'll do a general prep phase, and then we'll move into like a pre-season. So you'll have a bunch of like pole vault specific stuff coming into pre-season, and even like if right now we weren't like isolated and we could use the pole vault pit, we'd do like really short approach, like stiff pole drills, like really basic stuff. And then as you get into pre-season, you go to like a longer approach, and then by comps you're back at like your full approach.
Yep.
So you like build back that way.
Okay,
Yeah.
sweet. Sammy, cripple jumper.
Okay. It's a really difficult question to ask at the moment.
If you weren't injured,
Okay, if I wasn't injured. Because also even...
we've already decided you're becoming a bench specialist. So
Okay.
Yeah, that's coming, yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much just like bench and auxiliaries.
Yeah, we're gonna get. I'm thinking
Yeah.
4-day split for benching.
100%.
Yeah. Like
4
bench
different
every
types.
day.
Yeah,
Bench.
4 of those days
Yeah.
will be benching. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's my training week at the
Yeah,
moment.
sweet.
That's fine. You'll have chin ups and bent over rows every other day. And
Okay, that sounds fun.
Heavy day, speed day, overhead day.
Close grip day.
Yep, done.
Awesome.
Sorted.
This is going to
Cool.
be so much fun.
Thanks for doing my talking.
get
And a
out-
lot of
guys.
cake.
But like, don't get our hopes up. This is happening, right?
Yeah.
Like, this sounds
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
You said, yeah. I heard, yeah. It's on camera. It's recorded.
Signed up.
Signed up.
Just probably don't tell my coach.
Oh, where you coach?
I mean, I'm sure he'll
where
figure
the-
it out
yeah.
from the body composition changes, but
just come in with these
Yeah.
jacked fucking shoulders.
yeah.
But anyways, what is your training like in the off season, cake season?
Okay,
it's
so
becoming cake season. I just want
It
to
is
point
cake
out.
season.
It is
Yeah.
cake season.
yeah, so I guess it works similar to what Lisa said. Like, we don't do a lot that resembles triple jump. Like, if you came to most of our sessions at the moment, you know, if we weren't in isolation and I didn't have a labral tear on my hip, if you came to our sessions, like, we'd probably look more like sprinters. Like, we do a lot of like running rhythm work, a lot of
Tempo.
yeah, a lot of like tempo running. So it's just basically developing running mechanics and running rhythm. So like you have to keep loading all year round. Otherwise, as soon as you start to jump again, then you'll just get injured. But no, like nothing full approach. Like, we won't start full approach until it's basically competition time. So we're just doing like, you know, keeping a bit of like, you know, like step bounds and basic sort of plyo, but the sprinters will do the same as us. Do a lot of like hills, do a lot of cardio, and then just in the gym in a general prep phase as well. Then in off season we'll start to do, so we do like lots of drills, so mostly off a short approach until it gets pretty close to comp time, but we have like these little boxes that are like little platforms, so you might do like a couple of steps in, step up onto the box and then sort of like hop down and then hop up to another box and then step jump, and just do all combinations, like put the boxes in different places. So sometimes you're landing with like more force than normal, and then sometimes you're being assisted in your takeoff.
That's cool.
Yeah, that sort of stuff is really fun.
Yeah.
And
Breaks up the monotony of like just
yeah.
yeah.
So you work on all the different components, and then you'll start to build into short and medium approach. We really don't do that much long approach in training. Like, we'll do our long approach run, because you've got to practice targeting the board, and that's something that's really important to develop in like off season. So yeah, we'll do a lot of like long approach, hitting the board and just hopping out of it. But we pretty much don't do like what you see as triple jump until we get to competition. We'll do a lot off a medium approach, but we won't really do full approach, which makes the first comp of the year really scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I was terrified the first comp this year because I just didn't know what it was going to feel like.
Yeah.
I just didn't know where my joints were
So
at.
not even like the last week of training, like you won't have a practice run or anything like that at all.
We will. So we'll be.
Pole vault as well?
Yeah, but we
Yeah.
often compete like the first part of the season off of a shorter approach. So
Yeah.
we like, you say my full approach at the moment is 14 steps. So off of like the first 3 comps, I might compete off 10, and then I might compete off 12, and then I'll compete back 14. But we will train full approach before we compete it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't
yeah,
just
whereas
go
we sort
out.
of work opposite to that.
Any like why?
I don't know. I have to just like block it out of my mind a little bit. But yeah, it can be really scary. But then like once you're used to it again, it's fine. But I think just because it's such heavy impact on the joints, and then usually you're kind of still, well, I'm still like dropping weight at that time as well. So then it's sort of just like, oh well, am I light enough, or am I going to blow a joint?
So your body weight would play a big part, right? I'm
Yeah,
sure there's an
definitely.
optimum amount that
Yeah.
means you're the fastest, strongest you can be.
Yeah, exactly, because
but
you've got to
not too
maintain
heavy at
power,
the
so
same
you
time.
can't just like
Drop muscle.
Yeah, and it depends on your body type as well. Like, I'm more of a power generator. I'm obviously pretty short for a triple jumper, so I don't have the levers. So I rely on that, you know, power and explosiveness. So I need to come down in weight. I need to be light, but if I'm too light, then I lose my power. So it's
Yeah.
just like that juggling act between the two.
And you kind of know where that is for yourself, I imagine, from years of experience,
Yeah.
knowing that you need to be this weight.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yes.
In saying that though, like, as much as you like know where you want to be, like, it doesn't always, like, there's been times where Tris and I have been like, I'm too heavy, get in the sauna, like like the week of comp, you'll just like sauna
Yeah.
to try and like drop fluid
Yeah.
weight. Sauna, actually, fun fact, is really effective for recovery after a heavy lifting session. Yeah, it promotes that.
We
like,
spent a lot of time in a sauna.
yeah, it's
Sauna's good,
super.
cold tub.
Cold tub, sauna, no
Yeah.
pants.
Yeah, super effective. Yeah.
Did you just say no pants?
Yeah. was wondering if
It's
anyone
part of the
called
Super
recovery process.
effective. No pants.
Yeah, it's part of the recovery process.
sounds
It's,
great.
it's some high level stuff. I don't expect you to understand.
Yeah, it's like
Look,
it's. Look,
I don't
I think
expect
the
to
worst
understand.
the worst thing about ice baths, like you said, ice bath, hey,
Yeah.
yeah,
like cold tub, yeah.
cold tub ice bath. Like we
The
go to
ache-
recovery science.
the ache in the feet.
It's the
is
fucking
It
worst.
is so bad. Yeah.
Do your feet
like
ache?
No,
terrible.
bro, I just love it. It's fine.
Yeah, but see, okay, so he's an exception. He's a weirdo that will like get under the cold bath, sit and like stay in there. He
Yeah.
loves that shit.
It's the best.
Okay.
I fucking hate it. Like my
I like the
feet-
cold, like the rest of it
pain.
on my body. Like I feel great, and you get out, and you know your joints feel way better. But the ache in the
Yeah,
feet
and like the ankle
is-
joint, it's like
Yeah.
get fucked.
yeah,
It's been cold when you've been there.
Oh, dude, it's
cold enough.
it's so. Even he. So we go to recovery science. Shout out recovery science. And he's like, cool.
Oh,
and I'm
that's
like,
cold.
that's fucked.
I
Yeah.
feel like though there's like a part of like mindset in that as well because like there's been
Yeah,
like
he's a freak. Like,
yeah, there's been times where I've like been in like the ice bath and Eddie'd be like, all right, you're getting your chest in because I'm pole vault right, so there's so much upper body and I'm like, no. And I'm just like flat out like, no, that's not happening.
Not happening.
And he's like, it's happening in like 10 seconds. So like in 10 seconds I have to switch from like, that is never going to happen to like, all right, let's do this. Like, and then like once you kind of come to terms with that and you're like in and you start like slowing down your breathing and actually like getting in the right headspace for that, like I feel like the crap part of it kind of like it's obviously not comfortable, but it like
Yeah.
melts away a lot more because you're in the right headspace.
Yeah, I
for
definitely
it.
like the mental side of that.
Yeah.
sort of thing
I'm
too.
able to get there if I'm by myself. Like, what? I don't like going to cold bath.
With me. That's fine. Yeah.
No, I
I get it.
just specifically with you.
yeah, because then he'll be like, get your head under. And I'm like, no. It's the
Stop
worst.
peer pressuring me.
I just go hang in the warm bath.
Do you
It's
have
so
some
nice.
anxiety around spending time with Johnny?
Well, okay, so this is like, I know this is about you guys right now, but anyways, spending time with Johnny is great if you're training. Like, I've gotten so much better because his energy alone will just bring you up. Like, he's
Yeah.
the world's greatest training partner.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of messages I get when I post something about him and they're all like, we really need to train with Johnny. It's like, everyone needs to train with Johnny.
It's true. Can I just
Yeah,
say,
can I
But
train with Johnny?
going up-
Yes.
yeah, fucking
Let's do
but
squats.
labral tear.
just do bench.
Yeah, bench.
But
It's alright. I'll
You wanna
just
do a
like,
quick bench?
I'll just mess around with the foot position. I'm sure I can find something comfortable.
We have knee
Yeah, we-
wraps and a squat suit.
No.
We got
Joking.
knee wraps and squat suits for you too. It's okay.
Yeah, no, you can also wear them.
Don't be jealous.
Oh, great.
It's fine.
Oh, well, that's
I got
okay
a bench
then.
shirt that'd fit
we'll
you
do
guys.
it together.
A what
A
shirt?
bench shirt.
So
we can
a
put you in a
bench-
I
bench
thought you
shirt.
said a bed shirt. Can I just say oversized bed shirts are the best?
Speaking of shirts, when do we get our epic shirts?
Okay, well, they're coming.
Yeah.
Well, we have platform shirts, the platform podcast shirts coming, I think.
Can I get a beanie? It's coming into winter.
You can have anything.
Yeah,
Excellent.
We can. We
The
can
I
answer is
wouldn't mind a
yes.
hoodie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
look,
hoodies are good.
We'll make this happen.
We can do everything.
Yeah.
Sweet.
We have a guy. He has a guy for everything.
If you
Like,
bench
I
in a
am
bench
God.
shirt, you can have these
So
things.
context.
Sounds good.
There's like another division of powerlifting. There's like raw powerlifting and then equipped powerlifting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a canvas material that you squeeze your body, like literally. Do you still have your bruises?
Yes.
It's probably not appropriate, is it?
Inappropriately placed.
Yes. So like you squeeze yourself into this like canvas suit.
Like swimmers.
No.
Isn't that? But they're like racing togs are pretty tight. You need like 6 people to get those on. Is that like the same thing? Do you need multiple hands?
No, I mean I
Yeah.
can get just him. I can get him in it, just me. But it's like
2 people.
It's
Okay.
It's a 2-person job really.
So what's the purpose of this?
You lift more.
You lift a lot more,
Is it just because of the compression?
Because it's so tight, yeah.
Ah.
Like
and
with
like
a,
keeps you in this really
Yeah.
nice groove, and like it's really dangerous because if you fall out of that groove, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
Look at squat suit,
Yeah.
you get maybe 50.
it's like
That's
So
think about
everyone
like
can,
Iron
have you
Man.
guys got a photo of this?
He's got a photo. Do you have a photo of him in? Because it's a very like
Niche.
niche thing. It used to be powerlifting was just equipped, and
Yeah.
then people were like, what happens if I just do it raw? Like
Would you have to get this like specially made for you? Like
Yeah.
each person will have to get their own made for them?
there's like a just general size, and then you get alterations made.
Shit.
So like the suit that he wore for his last deadlift run was made for a person, I think like 105 kilos.
Scroll up.
Yeah, that's me.
No, but if you do this, you can see it.
Oh, I was like, that's me.
See?
There. So this is Johnny in the equipped suit. See how he can't like actually bend to the bar?
Oh, wow.
It's really painful,
Yeah.
but it's okay. You lift more.
But
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
so yeah, like it's a lot
It's all
of
about
fun.
the outcome.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like if
it's-
you wore the squat suit, if you say you can squat 200 kilos, like with knee wraps, if you put the squat suit on and put 200 on there, you probably would only move this far.
Wow.
The suit would stop you.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
really cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like a bench shirt,
How do you get deep enough to
Put more
deadlift?
weight on.
pull more weight on. And just
Oh, the deadlift you have to pull into position. So,
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
I'm
When
pretty
it-
sure I tore my hamstring doing that equip with him.
But you did
Really?
lift.
I did lift it. It was
Yes.
fun.
Yeah.
But like, I'm pretty sure I tore something.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Regrets.
So let's hear about your story then.
Of
Breaking yourself.
me.
Yeah.
Oh, where do I begin? I'm more injured than both of you. Fuck. I'm like the. So I've recently been crowned as the most mediocre powerlifter ever. Very, very proud of my achievement.
Did you get a goblet or a certificate or?
I'm going to make myself one.
Cool.
Because, you know,
There can't be like a big field though. Like there can't be a lot of entrants.
not really. Like, I'm a really good coach. Just want to point that out there. Like, and I think it's because I'm was such a shit lifter, and like I had to grind out,
Yeah.
and work out things for myself.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got so many injuries. I come into Paul and Sam, and he's like, "You're fucked," and I'm like, "Yeah, well, what happened?"
Okay, so tell us about like what's the dumbest injury you've ever done?
Oh fuck!
Like not dumbest injury you've ever done, but like what's your
What's my
like most self-destructive moment? Now that
Okay,
we've all
so-
picked on me.
Actually, this was 2017 or 2018. When did I meet Nicola? 2017. And I'd prepped for this comp, and I was like in pretty good nick. Like I was really strong for me.
Just
anyway.
quietly.
Yeah, I don't want to blow my own horn, but like I'm kind of not a big deal.
Wait, is this like in peak form for like the most mediocre?
Yes. So like, and then 4 weeks out, I got food poisoning, like really bad food poisoning.
Sure you did.
And I kept. I was in hospital for it, and then I was like kept training.
Well, you had food poisoning.
Yeah, I just took diarrhea stop.
I was just gonna. What was your eating regime like during that time?
Whatever I could eat,
So like,
whatever fit in my mouth.
Like you couldn't even pin it down to
So
what
you
gave
just-
you food poisoning.
No, I just kept eating, and it was really bad. Like I started to go backwards, and I was like, "This is bad." But then through other avenues, I increased other things that I probably shouldn't have to just be like, because I freaked out, ended up tearing not tearing. What'd I do? I did something to a tendon in my hand, and my hand was like double the size of what it is now. Like I couldn't grip anything properly, so I still competed. And then it turned out that like I tore something in my shoulder, and it was just all referring down. That was fun. And I remember on comp day, my hand was even bigger, and I tried to and like then Luke Poley comes up to me and goes, "Oh, it's just a bit of inflammation." You're fine. He tried to
shit.
release my trap. And he's just like, no, you're fine. Like, it's just a bit of inflammation. Hands me these tablets. To this day, I do not know what the tablets were. There were 6 tablets in
Probably
his
don't
hand.
want to know.
And I was like, I'm sure
Are
it's
you
just
guys
like,
regulated by ASADA? No.
no. But
That's
like these
lucky.
were like anti-inflammatory. Like there was plenty of
Otherwise,
other.
probably like cut that out of the podcast.
No, it's fine. Everyone knows. I was on so much of that other non-ASADA stuff, probably adding to the size of my hand. And yeah, anyway, Polly gives me this like bunch of tablets. He's like, just take them. And I'm like, but what are they? He goes, just take them. And I'm like,
Yes, Dad.
oh, okay, Dad. Okay, fuck. And then I proceeded to pull this deadlift, and I pulled 272, which is
Whoa.
it's not near my PR. So
Sorry, I was thinking in girls' terms.
you know what?
Oh, there's some girls that pull that now, isn't there?
Hey, my total's still bigger than yours, dude. Anyways, so then I'll go for a third attempt, and like I can barely move my arm at this stage. Like it's like I can't even like pull it back and like retract my shoulder blade. It is just so painful. And like Pole is still there. It's just inflamed. You'll be fine. One more lift. I go to pull this 282, and like I don't feel it leave the ground. Like I feel every other part of my body raise except my shoulder, and I'm like, I've done something. And
Did you pull it?
Nah, fuck no. I couldn't get it off the ground. I couldn't like have any feeling in my hand. That's probably my dumbest. But I'm pretty proud of it too.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Go me.
Yeah. I think you always feel really tough when you push through things like that.
Oh, I felt more like an idiot, to be fair. Like I was just like, you're a fucking idiot. And like I think it comes back to being a coach and an athlete. Like I gave up trying to be
Do both.
yeah,
It's very
especially
hard.
like I guess because obviously from our perspective, being a coach in this sport is so involved. Like it's so taxing. Like I've tried to coach and compete.
Yeah.
And then end up at the end of the day being so anxious from my athletes, like going around to the bus stop and vomiting. Like,
yeah, I think it's the emotional investment that you get as a coach.
Like it's just draining as
like
fuck.
a little while ago,
But
like
rewarding, I want to say. Like it's not a bad thing. We love it.
Yeah, like a little while ago, like Tristan was jumping and Tatiana was away, so I was coaching him. So I just competed and then I was coaching him, and the amount of like adrenaline and nerves and anxiety like we just had for him, like I was like I'm ready. I could jump now.
If
like,
you put me out there, let's go.
Yeah.
But
you
just like that feeling of having no control, like you've been so invested and put so much into the lead up.
And then it's like all on them.
And then it's just like all on them, like you step back and you have no control over what goes on from there, which is really, really nerve-wracking, like as gymnastics coaches when there's a lot of room for things to go wrong.
And that's the thing, like, I mean,
kids,
there's
like,
a lot of
swing
similarities
bars
as coaches in both our sports because, as you said, we can prep them, give them all the right tools up into the day, and then as soon as they step out on the platform or the mat, it's literally on them. It's like, fuck.
Cross your toes.
Okay, but since we've all talked about our dumbest injuries, Johnny?
What do you mean dumbest? Which ones?
Yeah.
Well, you got to pick one. You got to pick one story.
Probably the dumbest thing I ever done.
Oh, wait, yeah, it's this one. This one for sure.
Oh, yeah, that was also dumb.
So, Johnny, a bit of context.
There's a couple.
I'll give some context. Johnny is like the OG powerlifter. Like back when, powerlifters were looked at as fucking bikey drug dealers. Like Johnny was there when it started. He wasn't a drug dealer or a bike. I mean, he could be. I don't know.
Some really sick comps run by bikies and drug dealers.
Sorry?
Can we just clarify what OG means?
Original gangster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know what that was.
Really?
Yeah.
I only found out recently too, so it's okay. Anyways, dumbest injuries?
Dumbest injuries. Blowing 3 discs out of my back. Getting told it was a hip injury and a crazy coach telling me I was a pussy. And then warming up and hitting whatever I was scheduled to hit 2 weeks later. Missing it and then doing it again. And then working out that maybe something was wrong. Then blowing an eardrum years later after slapping my face before I deadlifted.
It was the best.
I learned a valuable lesson.
Slapping your own face.
Yeah, valuable lesson, targeting. Like, you've got to go here.
It's like targeting
this
the board.
This is bad.
Yeah, exactly.
And I hit it here.
Yeah.
Really intense ringing.
It's like a foul
incredibly unbalanced,
slap.
But I still pulled it.
Yeah.
So no regrets. But super weird conversations with doctors after that trying to explain why I was sitting. Yeah, look, no big deal. Slap myself in the head. Sounds a little silly, but can you have a look?
Yeah.
What's going on?
They probably had more of like a fear of like, this guy's self-harming.
Yeah.
No, it's powerlifting. Which
No,
also
they
could
looked at me like I was lying, and what my story was, it was bullshit.
That's fucking hilarious.
And the best one was the
message
subluxated shoulder and torn labrum.
That was fun though.
And broken Bakersfield fracture in my shoulder.
He did
All in one go?
Yeah. I squatted 300 though, so that was worth
So
it.
no regrets.
No
Yeah.
regrets. I stood it up and heard an audible clunk and couldn't feel the bar in my hand anymore. But I had the crew around me, so I knew I was safe.
I still got that video. It was
so
fucking
I went for it, just thinking, fuck it, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And then racked it.
Well, I mean, you couldn't undo it then. Like,
No, exactly. It already happened. Can't get worse,
what
right?
could get worse, really?
I love that Bob's in the background be like, fucking idiot.
Got the squat, stood back up again, and then as the day got worse, it got worse.
As the day got worse?
No, the day went on, it got worse.
Yeah, okay. I was like, the day didn't get worse.
Yeah, then turns out, it was fucked.
Fuck. We did do some dumb shit.
Yeah.
But I think as athletes, that's how you learn.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think you learn about how far is good pain and how far is non-good pain, where the line is, and I guess from that you learn a bunch of rehab and recovery that you then reintegrate into your training.
Yeah.
So then you're much better and you're stronger next time because you're
Your rehab becomes then a stepping stone to your prehab.
Prehab, and you start adding that into your training, and that's why it's such a journey because you develop all that rehab, recovery, all that extra stuff that you wouldn't have done at the start. You start doing that because you're like, well, I don't want that. I'm going to say stress fracture again. Yeah.
Or a torn hamstring.
Yeah. Contrary to popular belief, I actually train so much smarter now. Like I'll whinge about it, like this hip injury. Like I'll whinge and I'll give Paul a really hard time when he tells me I can't go and like bound and do plyo.
What does
for a
Paul
month.
know? Yeah.
So do you guys
Hey, Paul.
write your own programs, or do you sort of...
Oh no,
Hell no.
no. No. But that's part of being a smart athlete.
Yeah.
Is knowing what to outsource to someone else.
Yeah, because I think like as much as you don't want to, subconsciously you always like navigate away from things you don't really feel like or want to do, and like put in
Or just
stuff
do
you
too
really
much
like.
volume.
Yeah, like
Like,
add
it's
in
really
too much
hard
extra.
to-
Always underestimate. I mean, for myself, I think I always overestimate what I'm actually capable of. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can do this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm really sore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I can't move.
Yeah.
Or then
and it's
you
just
kind
like
of
that, like not having that objectivity to, you know, take things out of the program. Like everything seems really, really important. When you're programming for someone else, you're like, yeah, that is important, but, you know, we'll shift that focus to the next phase. Like we'll just focus on these 3 things here. Whereas like when it's you're like, but everything's important because I want to be amazing. And you
Yes.
just can't.
It just kind of
look
creates
at it
this like
objectively.
cycle. I find of like, firstly you overestimate, and then you're like, oh, then you underestimate, and then you're like,
Yeah.
nah, I can do more. So then you go back and just
Yeah.
this. So
Yeah,
that's why it's
cycle.
like, I'm the same in the last 4 weeks so I don't second guess numbers. I'll just hand it over to someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or this guy now. He just tells me what to do.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got you, bro.
I know you do. You're
Yeah.
beautiful. But I want to like touch on something you said before, Sami, about, so you don't do any like run throughs of cripple jump before the competition. Now that is like,
Like we'll do full approach, like hop phase.
but you won't put it all together because
No,
that's
not
so
really.
like, I guess different. You know, if we look at our sport, we get to practice our movement, you know, every single week in a prep. You know,
Yeah,
because we are
like
back
we'll do
squatting.
it. We'll do a full, like full triple jump off a medium approach, but we just won't quite do it from a full approach. And like mostly it's because, and like every coach and every squad is different. This is just the way that we do it. But I would say, like it mostly comes down to the neurological recovery.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you do that too close to competition, then you won't be neurologically recovered.
Yeah.
And you want to be sort of like peaking.
yeah, 100%.
It's like the West Side Barbell of track.
I don't get that reference.
Yeah, that went straight over
get
my
on
head.
get on Netflix. Look it up.
Okay.
That's
West
my
Side versus the World.
West Side versus the world.
Okay.
and
Okay.
everything that happened
Infamous
is like,
powerlifting gym.
yeah.
Okay.
Like, so like Westside is the OG of like powerlifting.
Original gangster.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
And like watch the documentary and just remind yourselves that everything you see in that documentary is just a tamed version, like a tamed down version of what you're actually seeing.
Cool.
So
It's wild.
it was
On
fucking
Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah.
West Side
Okay,
versus
it's
the
worth a
World.
watch.
Cool.
Have you guys seen Icarus?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
cool.
I love that.
Yeah, I love
I make
that.
everybody watch that.
Same. Just get like
It's
a bit
the
of
best.
yeah. How
Yeah.
good is that?
And the old guy just wanted to
Just
see his
inside.
dog.
amazing to
Yeah.
actually capture that on film accidentally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gregory.
The insight.
He
One-
was so lovable though, Gregory.
Yeah.
That's his name, isn't it? Gregory.
Yeah, the
Gregory.
older dude.
Yeah,
He just
the
wanted to come
Russian
home
guy.
and see his dog at the end of it.
Yeah.
He probably never did.
No, I don't think
He disappeared.
What's the guy who made it? What's his name again? Brian Fogel. Yeah, I just listened to like every podcast that he was in after that. Like it's just such a big rabbit hole. It just goes so much deeper.
Just somebody, I feel like someone should explain Icarus for those that haven't seen
Oh,
it on the
yeah.
podcast.
Okay, so
Listening. For those listening, sorry.
Yeah.
sorry, if you
everyone's
haven't
listening.
seen it, can I just say that you should watch it? It's on Netflix. Definitely look at that. So from our point of view, we obviously work in like clean sports, so it's OSADA tested. So Icarus basically goes through the Russian doping scandals that went on. So if anyone doesn't know, in track and field currently, Russian athletes cannot compete for their country. They now can only compete as authorized,
independent.
authorized neutral athletes, or ANA, because of the scandal that went on related to the state and national bodies relative to doping. And it basically goes through the process. It's a really good insight because it's a guy who basically goes to the guy who owns, I don't know what his name was, the head guy who runs basically the Russian doping scandal. He like
Yeah, so a little bit of like background context. So the guy Brian Fogel who made the documentary, he was
a cyclist.
a high level amateur cyclist, and so he wanted to do a documentary on. So he basically like did this big race that's like, you know, like Tour de France kind of thing for the highest level amateur athletes. And so he basically did it like clean 1 year and then wanted to do it doped up the next year to just, show the difference and all that and sort of show the process. So it was in his, research for developing the protocol to do, the following year, he was obviously like talking to a lot of people in different anti-doping agencies. And so then he came across this Russian guy who I think was in America. Yeah. And it accidentally came out during the course of the documentary that he was actually the one that headed up the national, the state-sponsored Russian doping scandal, the one that all came out in the Sochi Winter Olympics. Yeah. So he just kind of went to him for advice.
Yeah, and can just context that with there are obviously a bunch of Russian athletes now that aren't on drugs, and it's unfortunate they have to go through that process now, and also that I think the program there would have been athletes that didn't want to, but unless you weren't on the team. So it was if you do not take this, you don't make the national team, which is it's pretty stressful. It's pretty, it's pretty full
and
on.
possibly some were just honestly thought they were getting supplements or whatever.
You'd want to be able to trust the people around you that are giving you that advice, but that's why it's such a big thing in sport. You can't trust anybody. If you don't know what's going in your body, you just don't take it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's good.
Actually, don't worry, it's not appropriate.
You can say anything on the podcast.
This is a no rules.
No, you have to say it now.
It just reminded me of my first drug test.
Yeah, I thought you were going there.
My first P test was at state championships, and state championships don't usually get drug tested. It's very rare that you'll get drug tested at state championships. It's really random. And she pulled me aside and she's like, oh, we're going to do drug tests. And okay. So at this point, I'd been just competing for 3 hours. So I was pretty exhausted and fairly dehydrated and hungry. And they take you out the back and you have to fill out all these forms and sign all these declarations. And then they're like, okay, we're going to go in now. They give you water to drink. And I'm like, so, okay, can I just say that depending on the person you get, they all sort of have a different way of doing it. But this was my first one, so I didn't really know. And it's a fully visualized drug test. So you're naked from chest down, basically. You're fully starkers. And the quote that she used was and it has to be a female because females work for females, males work for males. Okay, so, and again, I didn't know it was my first time, but she's look, it's fully visualized. I need to see the urine leave your body.
Oh, wow.
And then from there,
what a job.
I was like, oh, so my legs were so fatigued from jumping and I was dehydrated and hungry. And she's like, no, you can't sit on the toilet seat. And I was like,
this is okay.
They just have to leave no room for trickery.
Yeah, and can I just show you, if you're me, I don't think you can hear me, but if you're me, and you're sitting, this person was just wow, that's a little bit intimidating. Again, my first time. It's anything, your first time is a bit full on. So I'm
problems.
kind of because now, I've done a bunch of drug tests and they usually let you sit on the toilet so that you can relax your legs, which makes it easier to pee because you're relaxed. But when you're half squatting over the toilet
and not feeling very relaxed.
And not feeling very relaxed, it's really hard to pee and dehydrated. So I was
or someone just staring right
and someone staring at you.
Yeah.
So I'm leaning on the toilet paper on the toilet roll, trying to take all my body weight because my legs are shaking, and my other arm on the wall, just half squatting over this toilet, just come on. I needed to pee so badly, and I just couldn't because I was my
performance
first time,
anxiety.
Yeah. So then she was like, do you want me to put the tap on? And I was like, no. But then after about 10-15 minutes I was like, yeah, put the tap on, whatever.
What other tricks you got for me?
We're still here 10 minutes later. You're still looking at that area.
So I was legit taking breaks. I'd sit down, give myself a couple of minutes to try and relax and be yep, okay, I'm ready to go. And then squat up, and it was legitimately pee valve on, pee valve off, pee valve on. So I'd like sit down. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go, and then I'd like go up onto my feet and like just like thanks, strong pelvic floor, like just like the worst thing ever. I kid you not, 2 hours. 2 hours it took me to
Was
pee.
it that long?
Yeah,
Whoa.
first time.
Everyone
I'm a
who's-
pro now. I'm a pro at pee test, but that time it was, and I was so dehydrated, and I just didn't know how to do it. So then I found myself like doing this thing where every time I peed, I'd like picture someone like looking at me and like close my eyes and like do some deep breathing so that I could like get used to like the anxiety of watching someone watching you pee. Like anything, it really works.
Oh, 100, like
Yeah.
all that meditation, run through visualization, 100% works.
Yeah. So like now,
But I just need to like anyone
weird
who's
application.
listening to this, stop it. Find us on YouTube and just go watch Lisa do all these actions because this was amazing.
and then I guess like you have to sort of hit a certain level as well. You can't just pee in a cup. There's like a certain requirement of the amount of urine because you have to
Certain
fill
amount.
2 samples.
Yeah.
And like the last time I got tested was at nationals after I won, and I was like super pumped. I was like, yeah, like went did my pee test and like was like this far below the line. Oh no! Yeah, it was actually horrendous because then I was like, the lady was like, oh, too bad. So then I had to just wait. Like I just had to drink a bunch of water and you just have to wait in there. She's like, you want to go for a walk? I'm like, no, I'm just going to sit here naked and just keep drinking water and just wait till like you need to pee again.
Athletics is fucked.
The problem though is like if you can't.
This is just like almost every other sport except for yours, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not just
But
track and field.
I guess one of the other problems is like if you drink a bunch of water, if it's too diluted, it doesn't count. So you have to have a certain level of concentration. So if you drink too much water, your urine is too diluted and you have to like do it again. So there's so many stories of people just like, they're like, oh, the drug testing person's come over. So you just like start downing water because you know you're going to have to pee, and then you like pee and it's too diluted. So they check the concentration. And if it's too diluted, then you have to then go through that
Go
whole
again.
process again. But you can't drink too much water because then you're just going to be further diluted. So you can't be too hydrated. Yeah.
Damn. But now
yeah.
you're a pee specialist.
I'm a pee specialist. It's kind of like you, like amateur, which a mediocre athlete. I'm a pee specialist.
That's nothing the same. Like that's
I
that's
don't know
like
Yeah.
that is your that's. I don't know if I could pee while someone looked directly at my penis.
With purpose too.
Yeah, like, it's like I mean, exactly. Like you can look at my penis, fine. I'll get it out on the camera. But
But if
but like with purpose of like
Didn't you say like Johnny's a really good training partner, gets you really like pumped up, ready to do anything?
Johnny can look at my penis any day. Bob
I'll
even
get you
agreed.
fired up for it if you want.
Can I like
Yeah.
point out though that if you had to do it to compete at a high level, you would do it. So if you relate back, it's like
yes,
you
it's
and you're
the
like,
thing.
Tay, you're like, oh, I
Yeah.
moved the weight, so it was worth it. It's like
But
I
like,
got to compete,
that's
so it was worth
the
it.
athlete
you know?
mindset, isn't it? Like you
Yeah.
do anything to compete at like
Yeah,
like in the
exactly.
moment.
Well, you're not going to let something like that stop you.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But, you know, going back to our dumb injuries, it's like, oh, yeah, fuck it. Like, I mean, in the moment as an athlete, you're like, we're all in. Like, I'm
Yeah.
here. I'm not going to fucking quit now.
Yeah.
Can I just say that there are some athletes that like hate this process so much that they'll actually like do like a number 2 like while they're in the like area. There's like, just wait a second, I just need to do my number 2 while this person is like in the room with them.
Oh, so
Like-
gross.
Just saying.
I
I just
actually
thought
have a
it, like,
newfound appreciation for like track and field athletes.
But then I guess like
Yeah.
that's what you have to do to, you know, for sport to be fair.
yeah,
Like not
Yeah.
that's it.
is,
I
but-
would do it so that
Yeah.
we could compete in clean sport.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, 100%.
yeah, 100%.
So is the goal for you both like the Olympics or what's your plans?
Yeah, not really for me. Like I didn't start triple jump till I was like 26, 27. So
How old
that
are
should-
you? Oh, wait, we had this discussion
Yeah.
before. Yeah.
This is the 3rd time.
Oh, no, me and Lise just had it too, so it's probably like a 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that ship has probably sailed for me, but like still just want to get my ranking as high as I can. And like I want to add about another meter to what my PB is now.
How far is it? How far can you go?
I PB'd at States 11:33.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long
So I
way.
want to add at least a meter to that. Because I feel like I actually... So our nationals got cancelled. Like it was meant to be this weekend, just gone. So I was kind of like building I had a lot of fouls in the season. I just kept getting like toenail just over the board. So I felt like I had a much bigger jump in me, and even at States, like I was happy with the PB, but my first 4 jumps, I fouled 3 of them. So it pretty much came down to the last jump, which got me a PB and a qualifier. So yeah, I felt like I had more in me this season, but just didn't quite get it, like didn't get the measured jump that I was after.
Yeah,
So
so for me, the Olympics is the goal.
Yeah.
But so if I'm honest, like this year, like I probably wouldn't have made the team. So like the goal was to jump higher, but I had a stress fracture. And I've had a lot of like, which I'll talk openly about, like I've had a lot of like mental issues, like a lot of mental blocks with like going up poles and getting off bigger poles. And I've had a lot of like struggle with that last season. So I didn't jump anywhere near my PB. Actually getting off the ground was like a massive issue for me this season. So out of all the people that, were really disappointed with the Olympics being postponed for a year, I was actually like, this is like a really good thing for me because I wasn't in shape. I wouldn't have qualified.
So that might give you a chance to qualify.
Yeah,
for that one,
100%. Like it'll give me a really good off season. Like I didn't have an off season. I had it like at the end of last season. So Oceania went out till June. And then I took a break from jumping, and then I got back into it, and then I needed to get away from it, so I took a mental health break, 6 weeks off, and then I got back into it in a somewhat aggressive manner and pulled up with a stress fracture in my 4th metatarsal, and then a really heavy stress reaction in my 3rd metatarsal, and then I've just changed coaches, and I've just like really had to just like reassess like the whole event because it was getting to the point where I was just going to walk away. So I had to like rebuild from like mentally, physically, everything has had to go from scratch because it just got too much, like that burnout. So.
Yeah. Do you spend a lot of, like you mentioned before, you do a lot of mindfulness in the morning meditation? Do you spend a lot of time visualizing yourself at the Olympics?
Yeah, so I think I lost that a bit. So I guess we were going to talk about Com Games, but we kind of, I don't know, we just lost that. But that was like my first international, and it was like, it was huge. Like getting your first Australian team kit is unlike any feeling you'll ever get in your life. And then walking out into a 30,000 stadium where they call your name is like, you can't top that feeling. Like it's it's
unreal.
like the best thing ever. Yeah. And I actually just get like goosebumps just like thinking about it now. So after Com Games, like, once you make your first Australian team, you actually think you're going to make every Australian team after that. It's one of those things where you're like, yeah, I'm going to make every team. And it actually just, it often doesn't happen that way. Like you just get like, and I was so like, I'm going to make this team. And I had really had that, like that goal, that dream. I was like so focused. And then I guess I think it's got a combination of a variety of factors put a lot of pressure on myself. And like, that's where I started to like unwind like psychologically and just kind of.
I think sometimes like when things have been going really well, and you just think like, yep, I'm on that like upward climb, and then that can sort of like you lose your ability to cope with setbacks a little bit.
Yeah,
your
sort expectations are so high of yourself.
Yeah, like you're sort of like, yep, I'm on a roll. Like getting to that next goal.
Like I've got all this momentum behind me.
Yeah, you feel that momentum, and you can see it like coming.
Something that like setback or something shifts it, you kind of go fucking a little bit backwards.
Yeah.
And when things are good, like they're good, like you get into that zone as an athlete where you're just chasing PBs and you're like.
But then you kind of like lose track of like the things that got you to those PBs.
That's exactly right. And
like
what you were doing that really worked.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I can see it all. We see it all the time in powerlifting.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and like I guess in any sport, it's that same process. Like you've got to be in the journey as opposed to the destination. So like now I have things in place where I'll have my training diary, and every single day I'll have written down my session, and I'll have like, what was your nutrition? Like, did you tick your nutrition goals today? Did you meditate today? Like, if you didn't, all right, let's work on that tomorrow. So it's like taking it day by day. And I think when you talk about like visualizing yourself at the Olympics, like 100% I have, and I think I lost that. Like you lose sight of like those really big goals when you're just so like weighed down by what's happening right now. So I guess from my point of view now, it's just about like trying to tick those daily goals, because you'll find that when you get to those big moments, like if you know that you've done everything you could have done every day leading up to that, then you're already in a better place. So like I have done everything I possibly could to this point. So it makes it a lot easier. I don't know about you, but for me, it makes it a lot easier to back yourself in those big moments, because you're like, regardless of what happens, I've done everything I could. And I know, like, we have this, like, banter about, like, eating and, like, the discipline around that. But, it, you know, for us, like, the discipline around that is just one piece of that big puzzle. That's, like, if I don't do this
Definitely
one piece...
the hardest piece.
Yeah, it is the hardest piece.
I watch you
Like,
devour
we're
that
both-
cake.
Yeah, we're both the type that will, you know, like, just go head first into any challenge thrown to us in training and, like, love working hard, like, you know, always, like, highly motivated to train, but it's, like, the other stuff around it. Like, you know, other people will have days more often when they're just like, I just, you know, can't be bothered to train today, whatever. Like, that, for me, definitely isn't where my challenges lie. It's, like, all the lifestyle stuff, like managing, like, workload, food, all of that, sleep.
Yeah, and I think it's those
the
one
hard bit.
percenters. Like, you guys
100%.
will get the one percenters for sure. Like, it's just like,
And there's a lot of,
did
like,
I do everything
it's
I
so
could?
contrast because as much as we joke about nutrition, it's like if we don't eat that amount of calories, we can't perform.
Yeah.
It's just so
it's,
crazy.
it's literally the same thing, just
Yeah.
in reverse. Like, I don't really want that, but I have to. Like, if I want to hit this, then this is what I have to do.
I'm going to go
you know?
fucking force more food down my throat. I don't want to, but
Yes, you do.
I do want to, sir. I do.
Yes, grow.
I know. This is why I want to.
Yeah.
But
Been eating too many veggies.
I actually started eating some vegetables, but I'm still growing. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. No stress.
Yeah.
I have 2 goals for isolation. As
They're
I
just, like, in addition to the powerlifter diet, right?
yeah.
Those
Yeah.
veggies better not be taking up valuable calories.
No, but see, this is the thing. I don't I track all my food through MyFitnessPal, or I'll sit down with a pen and paper and work it out. But I don't count the veggies. Like, fuck you. They're just extra calories. Like,
Yeah.
who needs
Just
veggies?
there for texture.
No, they're just there because color. Otherwise, it's just black and white. Like, literally.
But you said to me the other day that you feel really healthy now. Like, you feel good. You feel
I
more
feel much
energetic.
better. Like, I'm actually this. You know, as I said before, I got 2 goals for isolation, and that's to be 110 kilos and fucking way bigger arms.
Can I just say that feelings of pussies?
No, feelings don't matter. That was my that was my motto.
Like, I
Not
can
this season
feel
gone, but the one
shit
before.
scared and still do what I want to do. Like, I can feel like I don't want to go for a run, but I'll still do it. Like, feelings of pussies.
Feelings of that's the title of this podcast.
Savage.
I know. That's the elite athlete. That's why I'm mediocre.
I'm going to use that.
Man, that
Stealing
means-
it.
Oh, I know. I've just applied that to all the food I got to go eat. Like, fuck.
Eat it.
I will eat it.
Thank you.
It's just eating's the hardest part for me because I
Yeah.
fucking hate eating. Like, I genuinely hate eating because I have
Yeah.
to eat that much. But it's fun. And he's just like, what the fuck?
Opposite problem to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like, as we were saying before, that 1%er. If I don't eat that, I'm not going to be strong and I'm going to fucking
Yeah.
hate myself. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, well, in you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, for us towards the, you know, second half of the off season, when you really have to start reining it in, you just have to keep thinking, like, you know, in 5 months' time or 4 months' time, whatever, am I going to be looking back and thinking of this time now, like, not being disciplined enough, not pushing hard enough? Am I going to have to, you know, like, if I don't reach my goals or don't achieve what I want to for the season, am I going to look back and think, like, this is where I should have been better?
Yeah.
So
Because we've
just
all had
use that
those
as a
comps
motivator.
in
Yeah.
your sport or whatever where we get to it and we're like, fuck.
Just not
Yeah.
ready.
I
And it's
know I
really
could have done
hard.
so much more.
With, like,
Yeah.
the mindset, like, going into that, knowing that you didn't do everything you could. And can I just, like, give a quick shout out to, like, my team, because, like, I don't just do this on my own. Like, I
Yeah.
have an incredible team behind me, and, like, Sami would have the same, like, coach, dietitian, sports psych, strength and conditioning coach, like, you know, all of the people that, like, make you.
It's so weird though, because,
Help
like,
you,
you know,
basically.
both
Massage
of our
therapists.
sports are looked at as individual sports, but we both, you have a team around you,
Yeah.
or someone just to bounce ideas off. Like, I have Johnny, I have Gwen, and I'm just like, am I doing this right, cunts? Like, what am I doing?
Help.
Yeah.
Send help.
Oh, we can say
Yeah.
anything on the podcast.
Yeah.
You're the boss, so.
There are no rules.
Cool.
But yeah, before we finish up, we have the 10 most important questions you'll ever... Look at the
Whoa.
fear in Sammy's
And you know what we're
eyes.
I just don't want to, like,
Guess
get
what,
the
Sammy? You're
answers
going
wrong.
first.
Okay.
What-
We'll do it like we did the other time.
Which one?
1-1.
Yeah, 1-1.
Two-two.
Because
Okay.
otherwise, like, then Lisa's in the advantage.
Yeah.
She just needs to rapid
She gets a
fire.
very tiny
Okay.
advantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Are you ready?
these are rapid fire. First answer that comes to your mind before we
Oh,
wrap
I
up.
love this kind of stuff.
I always look back and go like, damn,
That
like
was wrong.
that wasn't my favorite type of ice cream.
Well, here we go.
We'll quickly.
Ready?
Just add a bonus. What is your favorite type of ice cream?
Yeah, what is...
Okay, I always like things with like multiple kind of textures, like hazelnut or something like that, but would have to have like some other type of crunch and like really good gelato.
So you pretty much just like Cold Rock.
No,
What?
no way.
I love Cold Rock just quietly.
Okay, we're friends.
No, like Messina or something like that, like gelato Messina.
I don't. Yeah, I know what that is.
fancy
But still,
gelato right there.
me and Lisa will go hang out at Cold Rock.
Yeah.
And you can fuck off to
I
Messina.
All the
I need
mix-ins.
like something nutty in it and like 3 different types
Although
of
I've
texture.
never been to Messina, so I feel like I don't really have a.
No, it's
a
okay.
Yeah,
It's
you-
okay, Lisa. You don't have to explain. Cold
Okay.
Rock's better.
Cool.
All right. Anyways,
Here we go. Favourite book?
Mayo's Last Answer.
Oh, am I doing the same one as her?
yeah.
Or. I don't read. Peter Pan.
Yes. All right, you're on a plane. It crashes, and then you are going to now have to survive on an island because there's only 2 people that survive, and you're going to live on this island for 40 days. Who's that other person going to be?
Sean.
You don't have to.
Do animals count? Because I take
Yeah.
my cat.
That's fine.
Yeah. Lily.
I'd probably take a Bernese mountain dog then.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sean.
You're right.
Person Eddie. Definitely Eddie.
Now, on that island, you're obviously going to be hungry. Are you prepared to eat a human?
Does it have to be the human that you
No.
brought with
No,
you?
no. There'll be plenty of dead bodies around.
I think I'd be resourceful enough that I wouldn't have to eat a human.
But would you be willing to?
Probably not.
Definitely.
You're
no
all in.
thinking.
You like I've paid in front of
Oh,
someone.
you have not seen me hungry. That is not a good sign.
Shit. Anyways, continue.
Dog or cat?
Dog.
Cat.
Ooh.
Black
What?
cats especially. Just
Black.
quietly. Most under-adopted, in case anyone wanted to know.
What superpower would you like to have?
Not time traveling. What's one? What do you call it? Like where you could just like suddenly be in New York.
Teleport.
Teleport.
Teleport. Yeah, you're right.
Flying. Easy.
Flying. Well
Yeah.
played.
Gotta fly.
What type of apple are you?
Red Delicious.
Pink lady.
Is the tooth fairy real?
Just in case there's any kids listening, which
Well,
I would strongly advise against.
Even
I'm
if there
gonna
aren't
say
kids
yes.
listening.
strongly advise against. We do need-
100% the tooth fairy is real. Are you
Excellent.
kidding?
Yes. Real. What is your secret talent?
Haven't you seen the Santa Claus?
Secret talent. I don't know if any of my talents are secret, actually.
Well, can you give us one of your talents?
Shit.
What
is something I'm good at?
Flipping.
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 What do you mean flipping?
Flipping, like,
Like with your body?
yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
So, I do the best dance parties. Just like crank that music and dance. I'm all about that life.
That was a secret. I didn't know
Real
that.
too.
All right. Who would win in a fight? Batman or Superman?
Superman.
Are you kidding? Batman, obviously.
How?
No way, because
I could tell you how. I mean, I'm a massive Superman fan myself. Like, don't get me wrong. Last Son of Krypton, shout out. But like, Batman, there have been many comments where Batman wins. He's the greatest tactician.
See,
Ever.
that's where he gets me. I was like, he's so resourceful. He has a bunch of
He
stuff.
is.
Whereas Superman, he just relies on his morals. He's like, I'm super. Screw all of you. I can just be me. Whereas Batman's like, I've got all this technology that I use. Because
Yeah,
I'm
but
awesome."
okay. Well, I'm gonna like just. You sound like you're paying out Superman. I still love him, so whoa.
I'm totally paying him out right now.
But like, this is the problem people get into with like when they're like Superman's just too good. I'm like, but that's him. He is a Superman. Like,
Okay.
sorry, can we just all agree that Henry Cavill as Superman was super delicious? Like, I'm straight, but that guy, man.
yeah, I was going to say Superman looks way better in Lycra.
Yeah, 100%.
Can I also say though, someone who like claims to be all super but then has to hide their identity in real life, are you even super?
But so does Batman.
That's a good point.
Anyways, Anyways,
I was like, is someone going to call her out on this?
we go down rabbit holes with this question. I get to it. We got to change that question.
It's a good question.
Yeah, but I just get too fired up.
I mean, it's obvious that it's super.
No, but like, because Batman, if you guys watch, if anyone wants to just prove it, go watch The Dark Knight Returns DC animated movie Part 2. Batman kicks Superman's ass. Done.
He must have let him.
No, he did. Fuck. Anyways, now, last question. Who is the best out of me and Johnny? It's clearly Johnny.
Well, I'm going to have to say it's you because, like, you bring us coffee.
See?
No, but it's definitely Johnny.
But it's you.
It's fuck off.
The vote is strong.
Johnny doesn't
for you.
bring us coffee yet, though, so...
Yet. I'm sure he would.
I'm going to put you in a bench shirt.
Okay.
That's even better.
Now it's...
Yeah, see? It's
neck
got to
and
be
neck.
Johnny. It's Johnny. Come on. It's Johnny. It's okay. I don't mind. It's because it is him.
Yeah, I'm
You're
going to
going to
say...
be so mad at us if we say Johnny.
No. It's definitely Johnny.
It's clearly.
Can we just get a vote? Yeah.
Wait, I'm going to say Johnny
Yes.
because...
Ha!
Can I just like justify my decision? Because clearly you wanted me to say Johnny, but I didn't do it because you wanted me to say it. Like,
Thank you.
I did it, well, to mess with you. No, I just did it because Johnny's like the silent assassin. Like, he just sits there. He's just chilling, makes comments, like super chilled out. And I love that vibe.
Yeah.
Whereas you're just like the Energizer bunny that just like
Exactly.
attacks. Like, if there was an apocalypse, you would be just like that rabid bunny that was like...
I mean, cool. I'll be that Energizer bunny. I mean, I thought you'd be like, you're the Energizer bunny in Apocalypse that's just killing motherfucking zombies. But nah, cool. I'm the
I
one
can
that's...
see that. I
Yeah,
can see
no,
that.
thank you, Sami.
That's why I chose
bitten
you.
by the zombie, and
That's
there's
exactly
like,
what I was
there's blood
thinking.
on your face. Whereas Johnny's in his house just chilling because he
Because
managed
he's hoarded
to. Like,
all the food for Corona.
Are you one of
He's
those?
rolling.
he's a tactician. You can't.
That was
back
our first
Batman.
Corona mention in the whole podcast, wasn't
That's
it?
really
Yeah.
well done.
Wow.
Oh, no, we spoke about the Olympics being moved because of Corona.
We
We
didn't
did.
say because of Corona, I don't think.
No, we didn't.
We just said Olympics being
To be honest, I
moved.
didn't even know that actually was
That was a
finally
pretty good
made.
effort.
So that's
Yeah.
We
it.
did well.
I challenge anyone else at the moment to do a whole podcast without mentioning
This
Corona.
is true.
Ooh, bam.
Challenge.
are
Should
one
we
of
do
Or
like
at least
a
most of a
challenge accepted
podcast.
on Instagram? Everyone do their own podcast and not mention Corona. 30-second podcast. If you don't mention Corona, you're the winner.
What do they win?
I don't know. Oh, bench shirt.
Yeah. Bench session.
And the glory.
That's hilarious.
Pride of a job,
We
well
will
done.
get you guys in the bench shirt. I'm
Cool.
thinking this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Can we
that's-
have an epic shirt as well?
We can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down.
Maybe
for a
we could
beanie.
wear that shirt on Fridays. It could be Friday
I
uniform.
didn't even realize I was wearing the shirt. I honestly thought I have like stopped wearing them because Corona, don't have a job. So I didn't realize I was wearing this. Anyways, thank you so much for giving up your Saturday afternoon to come talk to us.
okay.
There was a lot of.
I mean, we
fucking-
did have so many other things to do. I hope you realise. Like we were going to be
That's true.
so
Sammy
busy.
moved her whole house party for this, or was it rooftop party?
Rooftop party. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were having a dance party.
Yeah.
Rooftop dance party.
Rooftop
Yeah.
dance
This has
party.
evolved a
Yeah.
lot
There
in
was
this
going to be
last week.
so much socialising going on. But
I
we
was going to
just
bring my cat.
cleared our schedule just for you.
Bring your cat. I don't think she heard it, but I was like, the fuck? Anyways, where do we find you guys if these guys want to get in contact with you? We forgot to do that last night.
Are you talking like professionally?
Yeah, as well.
Oh, well, we work for Start Training, so you can email our admin team at admin@starttraining.net.au. Alternatively, if you give us a call on 0411 299 110.
Sound
Cue
like a-
elevator music.
Yeah, I was like, that
Or
sounds like
just
a really
PM
bad
us on the
infomercial.
Start Training Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy, guys. Thank you so much. Good
Thanks for
luck with
having
all
us.
your training.
Thank
and
you.
hopefully, by the next time we catch up, would have been able to compete again.
Yeah.
Hashtag
And I don't
Corona.
have a label tag.
You'll have another entry by then.
No.
And we clap on 3. 3, 2, 1.